to WrestleCulture. Don't worry, it's not just me. Phil's joining us a bit, and Adam Nicholas is... Hang on. Allegedly, anyway, yes.
Have I just been speaking into a microphone that wasn't on before?
Yeah, maybe.
I was trying to say to the people at home, it looks like I've gone too soon, so now you're just going to have to dance, which you did. It was it was all part of the plan.
All part of the plan, yeah.
Just to prove to everyone it's live.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want you thinking this was like pre-recorded.
No.
God forbid. It's been a while.
It's been ages.
Hiya.
Just for you, this.
Just for me. It's always weird when it's just one, because I feel like I get serenaded.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we'll see.
It's got my name in it. That's going to be... I'm ready now. I'm ready for my close-up.
Let's get ready to fumble. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to fumble. Saints the new champ. He's a handsome scam. Chose to decamp to the Fed. Lost on Dynamite. Wants to feel all right. Moves to Tuesday night. Great. Let's get ready to fumble.
Let's get ready to fumble.
Get steady. And fumble. Tony can't fumble. Let's get ready to fumble. Let's get ready to fumble. Get ready. Get steady and fumble. Tony can't fumble. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture. Joined by Adam Nicholas from WhatCulture. Soon to be joined by Phil Chambers from WhatCulture. Allegedly, to discuss all the goings on in wrestling this week. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we review Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a big quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Adam Nicholas. Adam Nicholas.
That's what they call me.
Thanks to everyone
joining us. I used to dance under that name.
Yes.
A long time ago.
Thanks to everyone joining us live on YouTube. I'll read some of your messages out in due course, but I have to start with the big topic of the week. Did Tony Khan fumble Ricky Starks?
No is the answer, but it's funny. Yes. It is funny. It's all just good fun. All of it's good fun. I think selective memories, perhaps, and tribalism obviously plays a huge part, but nonetheless, it's still pretty funny, isn't it? Like the memories of he. You know, when you look at it on paper, he actually did quite a bit with him. Yeah. Right? And people just seem to forget. Yeah. People are like, he's never had nothing. He had quite a lot while he was there.
Fought for the world title.
Mm-hmm. And if you imagine if obviously everything that happened with Punk didn't happen, like the second time when he eventually left for good, like he was right on track. Yeah. If you think about the way he was being positioned there, he was right up there. Like Punk was going to drag him up there with him no matter what. And now, obviously, didn't work out that way. And here he is. And your thoughts, I guess, because you're the NXT man of the house.
Ecstatic for him in NXT. Yeah. But I do not, get the whole... I mean, I don't care, to be perfectly honest, but I certainly don't get the whole... Oh, another one in the old Tony fumble pipe. Well, no. Like, Cody Rhodes, can't really say he fumbled him. No. He's the reason AEW kind of exists right now, but he wanted to explore other stuff. They were never not going to bring in Jade Cargill and push her to the absolute moon. Ethan Page, I suppose, is an interesting one, but it's the proof of the pudding will be when he moves to the main roster for me. Yeah. Ricky Starks is one of those, of course, if you have the opportunity to sign someone like Ricky, you bring him in and immediately...
I think they had to, didn't they?
Put a title on him, yeah.
You couldn't not do that. I think...
It'd be like, I don't know who's a comparable star in terms of the level that they're at and the expectation. Maybe like Bron Breakker.
Yeah.
Like if he left...
Immediately shot across to then be pushed.
AEW would do the exact same thing with him.
It's that thing as well, isn't it, where they got a lot of goodwill by seeing the Cody thing through. Yes. I think a lot of people were thinking, well, when he lost at 39, they're like, see? And then there was another guy who was going, wait for it, because the real C is going to be down the line. And sure enough, they did do that. And for them, it makes good business sense. If you're going to bring somebody in and present them as massive immediately, like if Ricky Starks goes to the main roster from AEW, bad news for Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints, as we all also now know him as, because nothing would have happened. No. Like Penta's benefited from, weirdly, Rhea Phoenix being stuck in AEW.
Yes.
Rhea Phoenix will probably benefit from that as well. They're both obviously going to be maybe on separate brands for the time being, which I think is a good idea. Ricky Starks, Saints needs to. I'll get there.
I'm the same.
Come on, we'll get there. He was like tailor-made to go to NXT right now.
Yeah.
But he will say now that he has the belt, he got to do lots with it.
Yes.
Because I think we saw Ethan Page got the NXT championship, which was amazing for him, and like a great bit of like show of goodwill from WWE. But ultimately ended up losing it quite quickly. He was transitional, and then you wonder, is that going to be it for him?
Same with Sean Spears.
Same with Sean. Yes, exactly the same thing. So it is very exciting. Asterix, I want to make sure they actually do something really good with Ricky Saints. But you look at the top, I've said it before, if you're just coming from, there's like Miro obviously has now seemingly officially signed with WWE, and like there's a Malachi, Alistair Black floating around in the background. It ain't just going to be straight at the top of the card for these people.
Dragunov's coming back relatively soon.
It's busy. Yeah. It's busy in the old Fed these days.
And especially if your name's Ricky Saints and they are allegedly, I'm not sure if it's been 100% confirmed, but I'm 99% certain they are going to New Orleans next year.
How could you forget? How could you forget it was confirmed by your best friend on planet Earth?
Yeah, I never know.
My sworn enemy and your best friend.
I never know if that's official or if he's just saying stuff sometimes.
You know what it is? That's actually quite fair. He could have just felt like it on the day.
I know he had his big entrance. That probably does count. But there's always a bit like, did he just say something on the spot?
Was he just saying whatever he felt like?
Yeah.
They're all sitting in the back.
Go where?
Oh God. We've got to call Minneapolis again and cancel again.
Hey,
I'm really sorry.
We said we'd be back.
He's done it again.
Yeah.
Dwayne. Your WrestleMania has gone down the Dwayne.
To the back of the queue. We'll see you in 20 years.
Unbelievable.
You mentioned Miro, Rusev. All reports this week suggesting he is finally returning to WWE. No great surprise, is it?
No, I think it's, if you're someone who left WWE to go to AEW and then probably flourished, I think it's fair to say, for quite a little while there, but stumbling into the same problem of now what? It feels like that's been his problem for a while. Like, gets to a point, like that top of the mid-card kind of point where you think, oh, he's ready to go for the next big jump, but then he just can't quite do it because there's like so many other people in the company who they have to invest the time and effort into, who are arguably, and I imagine certainly on the old wage bill, much higher up than he will be. Like so the rest of us going, oh my God, they've signed Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, and CM Punk. If you're any of the guys there, you're like, oh crap. We just wanted one more year, just one more year, and then we would have been satisfied. But I am interested to see what will happen. Am I optimistic? I don't know. Do you think he would be another good fit to go to maybe NXT first?
Could be.
Because he could be a monster there.
Him versus Obafemi.
I mean, he could be a monster there, but I would be worried if he went, unless to be fair, he might just be happy getting the bag.
Yeah.
And if he's happy just getting the bag and going to work for WWE, he is more than capable of being a good, entertaining character within that world if he doesn't have aspirations to be the top guy.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like you mentioned, we talk about Cody and Jade and Ricky and whoever. But you neglect to mention Andrade, who's coming in done now.
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, it's the quiet secret truth or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's really hard. Like, how are you gonna dislodge? There are people at the top of that card who have been dislodged. Roman Reigns and I know the main event, and so you probably say, "What are you on about, Nicholas? You idiot!" But if you are going to ask them what they want to be doing at WrestleMania, that's, to me, if they'd done it right somehow and had the sort of right build, that triple threat's crazy exciting. I think they've done maybe the best they could given the circumstances. Thanks, Dwayne. Thanks, John. But I think ultimately, if you ask them individually, is this the match you wanted at Mania? It's a no.
Not this way, yes.
Maybe not if you're Seth. Maybe Seth's thinking, yep,
I'll take it.
Pretty good being old Seth right now.
But yeah, like if you're an Alistair Black or a Rusev or whatever coming in, you don't want to come in and be back, fighting for the US. Nothing against the US title, but exactly where you left. You'd consider yourself, especially under Triple H, if you're Alistair Black, for example, someone who should be fighting around the world title.
You'd like to think so. And I mean, if you go by his win-loss record in singles competition, Adam, in AEW, I mean, he should be right at the top, shouldn't he? But I think it's just tough. There's so many good wrestlers there, and being good ain't good enough. Like, you have to get you have to find something that nobody else has got, and then hope to God that nothing derails it while you're there.
And especially if now you've got 2 world titles. Like, I sense one is going to be heavily associated with John Cena / Cody Rhodes for the rest of this year. So that's kind of out of the picture. But whether it stays on Gunther or it drops to Jay, if you're Rusev, you've got to be thinking, that's the title I can get my hands on pretty much straight out the gate.
I think that's pretty good logic. If you're those two, for the ones we're using as examples, Aleister Black and Rusev coming back to WWE, it's that belt first. If you're aiming for the top again,
yes.
If that is in fact what you're aiming for, I don't know what their motivations will be. Don't know whether they just want to be happy to get out of AEW and get a fresh start. It isn't always the immediate fix that you want it to be.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
You know, I think it's nice for, say, Aleister, because obviously his wife's in WWE. I don't know where's Lana these days. Does she? She's
not officially, according to I think Wrestling Observer or someone today has reported that CJ Perry isn't going to be signing with WWE straight out of the gate. But that's always something, as we mentioned on the news, you can sort of have in your back pocket. Like after a while, let's bring in hot flexible wife or however you want him to introduce her.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I think for them, if you're at that stage now where you bounced around a bit, maybe they just want to go back, and the idea of like hello, speaking of the family feel I was about to talk about, then maybe they just want to go there, get that money, be around their friends and family, and that is the thing that they try to promote with WWE the most. Whether or not it's true, of course, is a different story, but like, if you were talking about the harmony that people allege in both locker rooms, it seems like, well, minus reports of frustrations, like the family element is what they seem to push more in WWE, whereas a lot of the reports from behind the scenes in AEW have been like, people kind of just stick to themselves because there's no plan. Hi, Phil.
Hi.
You all right?
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Rusev returning to WWE? It's exciting.
I mean, it is exciting.
That's the reaction I'd want.
Yeah. I just want to know what version it's going to be. Is it going to be a Redeemer thing? Is it going to be just Rusev coming back on a tank? Which, to be fair, I'd be quite into as well.
Yeah.
Him and Shotzi team.
Yeah.
Put the belt on him with a tank.
Him on an actual tank and her in a tiny tank next to it, just like.
Or his big tank opens up and the little tank comes out the bottom.
Thunderbirds.
And then you can start a stable and then more tanks appear.
Because what's better than one tank? 2 tanks.
Loads of little tanks.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm just intrigued as to what it looks like is the biggest thing. Because obviously Rusev was what it was in WWE, whether like started off amazingly and then went pretty terribly.
Yeah.
And so, do they go back to that, or does he even want to go back to that?
Exactly,
that's what I'm saying,
One of his whole things in AEW was that he wanted to try out new things, and he tried out the gamer thing, didn't go too well. Figured out the Redeemer thing was amazing.
Yeah,
never got booked.
Roman was the best man at that wedding. That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely.
With his little blonde hair.
So maybe he'll just do something completely different. Maybe he will be none of this, and he'll just be a guy. I don't know.
He strikes me like he might want a fresh coat of paint. Like he might have gone in with a new idea.
I think
but then they might want to sign the thing that that people are familiar with.
Yeah, like I don't know if you spoke about him yet, but Aleister Black or Malachi Black, I think he's the one that probably more so needs something to be mixed up because he is basically the same character in AEW as he was in WWE. Yeah. And so like maybe he feels like he needs it more than Miro does, whereas Miro has the option of coming in as a Redeemer. It'll probably be great. Coming in as Russo, it'll probably be great.
You just want to come in as Russo. Oh, don't come in as Russo, whatever you do.
It's a whole different gimmick, brother. So yeah, in terms of like freshening up, he doesn't feel like he desperately needs it, whereas maybe Aleister Black does.
Yeah.
Will he come in with these? Does he finally let go of this eye thing?
He'll never let go.
Like I get it, I totally get it, and I respect the commitment to the bit. I do, fair play. But like, dude, just do yourself a favor. Like this, there's no need for it. It doesn't add any. There's no point to me that goes, well, that's a fundamental part of your story, isn't it? Like I get he's an artist, and but what? Just let it go. Rey
Until you mentioned
Mysterio,
that, I forgot all about
Rey
it.
Mysterio went and got brand new eyes.
Yeah.
Same when he's got them stem cells.
Pop it back in.
Pop it back in.
Yeah, easy.
Little golf ball, colour it in, and it becomes your eye. That's it. Easy. Super easy. Little tight list in there. You'll be flying.
CM Punk, we mentioned before you came in.
Bet you did.
His main event.
Not mention him, can you? Bloody hell. Obsessed with him, this guy.
Well, he's main eventing WrestleMania. Finally.
He is.
Great news this. We haven't had a chance to talk about it.
is.
Yeah.
Is it?
I was watching them do the SmackDown preview earlier, which you can get now on YouTube. It should be live and available. And as they were sort of gushing in their praise of it, I
didn't like it.
Like Arthur with the fist sitting in the side.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Give me your thoughts though, because I'll give you mine afterwards.
I think you could have done so much with it. Is my main problem. Like, you've got this story that's literally been going on for 12 years
at least,
or something. At least probably longer with his time in WWE. Like, I can't remember when exactly like it became a thing. Like, probably maybe around the Undertaker match, or is it even before that? I don't know. But like a long time, anyway, let's say.
Pipe bomb, really. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know.
The catalyst for so much, like one of the catalysts, not obviously not the catalyst, but one of the catalysts for him leaving in the first place, one of the catalysts for him having a massive chip on his shoulder for 10 years afterwards.
It was a big old chip.
A big old chip. Probably a catalyst for him coming back to WWE, let's face it. And yet, when you finally get it, it's just, here's a contract, you're in the main event. Like, it just feels like such a letdown from so much. And for this match as well, which doesn't feel like it deserves it in any way, shape or form.
It feels like Will on the night, but
Probably, but it just...
To me, this had for all of the like narrative reasons and probably for their reasons of like, this isn't, not we were just saying, none of them probably would have wanted this to be their match at Mania.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe Seth. And if it had more of an intricate build over like maybe a year.
Yeah.
You know, because there's very obviously history there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Those two and obviously Dean Ambrose, there's a whole lot of history there. But the way that it has happened isn't the one that I think they would really want. Let's be honest.
It feels like the whole thing's come down to a coincidence that they were in the same place at the Royal Rumble.
And a bit unavailable.
Because
they knew what was coming with.
Yeah.
And to me, this screamed opener. If it's not going to be the main event, have it be an opener.
Yeah.
Like, and an absolute barnstorm and like, well, right, then top that.
Yeah.
Like, that could have been great. And I think narratively, I know this isn't a new take. A lot of the guys have said this, but like, they should have cost each other the main event. That should have been it.
Yeah.
The narrative is there. You all wanted it so much, but you blew up in each other's face, and now you're having that match because of it.
And the narrative for all three of them works better for that, because Punk then gets to sort of set himself and then like set his entire focus of his year on getting back to the main event of WrestleMania, which writes so many stories incredibly easily, really. Roman Reigns, it would have been the first Mania in how long that he hasn't been in the main event?
Probably since he was off, right?
Yeah.
Since the pandemic.
38, obviously. 39, 40.
It was the one behind closed doors, right?
Yeah, the one behind closed doors. And then even like before
Actually,
that,
the one when we
still...
were at 35, he wrestled Drew McIntyre in the middle of the card, didn't he, somewhere?
Yeah, so they like, it's been a long
37, 36 he wasn't on.
36 he wasn't on.
That was the Drew,
that was the one.
Goldberg.
37 was when it was back outside
Pirate ship.
Joe in the poncho.
Yeah.
Was he on that one?
He must have been on
He
that.
must have been back by then.
Do you think? Was he?
Maybe he was.
Oh, wait, no, was 37, wasn't 37, we were talking about this
37
earlier.
was Drew and Bobby.
Edge, Brian, and Ray.
No, that was 38. You were there for that, wasn't it?
No, 38 was Brock.
Brock. So what would... so maybe 37 was that?
Yeah.
37, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So we're going back.
So it's still a while, though. Like,
and it's like just the idea of Roman Reigns not being in a main event is a story that is in
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
And he can go, this is my spot. I've had it for X amount of years. You two took it away from me. Immediately makes the whole thing feel a bit more personal. And Seth can make anything work in a story-wise.
And to me, like, that whole Punk segment, I've said this on the SmackDown preview again, from afar in the producer's chair, because I needed to get it out of my body. But I'll say it again for the people who haven't seen it. I just felt like Hamflet often talks about wrestlers who are wrestling as a character or doing promos as their character.
Yeah.
Undeniably, that character. Everything I felt that CM Punk did in that main event slot for the SmackDown episode last week, I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know who this is. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting for him to say, you know how much I want this, but I'm not going to take it like that.
Yeah.
I don't want it like that. Jey Uso's my friend. I don't want to take a main event off my friend.
That would have been way more interesting.
And I just feel like...
Very interesting to see how he does what he does tonight then, because they're in Chicago. So it's like, if you're going to try and pivot, because they'll go with him for anything.
Yeah, and you're going to go wild for it, won't you? And that's the thing. I will say, despite the fact, yes, on one hand, I'm pleased for him as a guy who wanted this. Yeah. It's very, very deliberate. Obviously, I know the match that happens on night 2 was always going to be the main event. Very specific, though, that it's the main event of night 1, because that does win, lose, or draw, and I do think now maybe there's a case for him to lose that match on night 1. It leaves that all right, night one's good, but we all know the real, like the main event is night two.
Also a triple threat, which is like slightly diminishing.
No title involved in it.
Yeah.
There are caveats.
But it can leave a chase for him to still have, you know,
Yeah.
and especially if he loses,
But
that's
that chase
sour
is just
taste.
much more interesting if it's just not there.
I
like,
agree.
At all.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done this at all.
I also think it slightly undermines the favor because obviously they did the switcheroo on SmackDown where he did this and everyone thinks that was his favor, but then oh no, that wasn't actually.
But I didn't even think. I know you went mad for that, and I didn't even think that bit was executed
Me
that
neither.
well. I was like, it went off with a whimper. I barely got any reaction from Roman Reigns. It already cut off the feed. Maybe it was just when I watched the Netflix. It was like
that's not the favor. Boom, gone.
Punk
It's
turns
like,
around. The
wait a
last thing I see, as lovely as I'm sure it is Punk's ass as he's walking off that way. There's barely any time to catch any reaction. No real drama to it. It just kind of, when I was watching it, the executive producer Paul Levesque popping up at the bottom there, and it was like Roman's then going, well, come on, let's send the people home happy. And I'm like, what's going on here? Because this is not the tone. Like, you're not leaving me with this.
Yeah.
Because it was like, if that's not the favor. And then him and then they walk off. There's time for it to sit.
Yeah.
Fine. I just thought it wasn't executed. For the company who's really good at executing this, who are on Netflix, again, who can do whatever they want.
with no time constraints.
With no time constraints.
Yeah.
It just felt like this was muddled, man. It didn't land for me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because I was so invested in it, I liked the aspect of it being like, what's he said? And then it's gone already. I really like that as a difference. But I can understand that.
I do get that. And I think, to be fair, you ticked it off the box as well on the SmackDown preview of like, Roman was on. Fair play to him, he was on. But to me, it's like, oh, you're on this week. What about next week? What about the week after? Like, I need him to be on. I need this. You need to make me feel like, oh, okay, this is actually a big match. Like, especially now if it's a main event. And I need to see some fallout between Jay and Punk on this one because, like, Punk is a details guy, and that is a humongous detail.
Yeah.
This guy's one of your friends, and you've literally just took the main event off him.
The guy who has had the main event stolen off him numerous times before, and he's now doing it to one of the most over baby faces.
Jay's
in
had
the
a
company,
main event at
really.
WrestleMania anyway, so
And that, you know,
tag match.
It might play into it. Maybe that plays into it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an immediate moment where Punk goes, well, he's got the belt now. And that's I don't know, even though they took the main event off me, I still won the belt. And then Punk comes out and they have that. I don't know. It could be anything. They have earned a lot of it, I guess, to say, maybe just see it out. But I don't think many people would argue the last couple of months has been a bit like, where's the direction? I know you are very much involved.
I think they've turned the corner in the last week or so. I think that I understand and I sort of support a lot of the criticism of, whilst I'm never going to say they shouldn't have done it, the European tour has kind of thrown them off course somewhat in terms of just being like, well, we'll just do this to pop the crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. You've got the luxury of a few extra weeks with WrestleMania being when it is. So now, I think, and they started in like Glasgow and London. It felt like they were kicking into gear. Now it's like, we've got 2 episodes of each. 3, actually, including SmackDown tonight.
Yeah.
But
It does genuinely feel exciting that they're back in America. That's the one byproduct of this. But I do think if they're sitting down afterwards, they'll probably look at this and say, actually, we shouldn't probably do that again in the future.
Yeah.
Or maybe they don't. Maybe they
don't. Maybe they just see big
maybe they just
dollar
love
signs.
getting them dollars. Maybe that's it.
I've got to think about it in like, is this how Punk would have wanted it as well? Like really deep down. Maybe he's just at a point where he's like, I'm going to take it because it's all I'm getting. Like,
I
like,
never know,
take it
can't
because
say no.
I'm getting
His
it, and then
body
I've
as
got
well.
it,
You may
and
be
you
thinking
never
like, what
take
if
it.
I break again?
I did think this
Exactly,
when they
you
were like,
never
people were
know.
like, oh, just wait till next year. I was like, oh, it might not be a next year.
You never know. But
I'd get all of those reasons outside of the narrative and outside of kayfabe for Punk. Great. Like, I'm glad he'll be able to say on his CV, I have main event. There will always be the asterisk though, until he gets the second, the final Cody holding the belt shot. That's the end of the night, right? That's the one.
It just feels a little bit of a letdown of what it could be.
I'm excited to see what he does in Chicago tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be red hot tonight, surely.
Speaking of which, it's red hot in the chat. Thank you, everyone, joining us live on YouTube. Hi to Curtis Santiago, who says, finally able to catch a live stream whilst fire polishing glass.
Ooh.
Cheers, boys. Happy Friday. We're having a good Friday, Curtis.
Not even his job. Just do it because that's what he does on Fridays.
Friday afternoons.
I respect
Walking
it.
down the street.
Anybody got some glass that wants polished with fire?
Matt Rain says, happy Friday, guys. Official congrats to Adam Nicholas on the League Cup win.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that.
It was all down to you.
That's it. And basically I never came back since, so I've only just returned to earth. No, thank you for that, Matt. It's, we're very humble up north, you know. I don't take any great pleasure from taking... genuinely, I know you're all laughing. I don't take any... I like Liverpool. I don't take great pleasure. I've got friends from Liverpool. But it was nice to have a moment where my team finally won a bloody... It was my WrestleMania main event, and I won it. And I won the damn thing. And I was rough as hell because I'd been to bloody Amsterdam for 2 days before that. I nearly watched it in my hotel room. That's how bad I was on the Sunday. And only by the power of good vibes was I pulled back out to the, you know what, let's watch this with people. And I do not regret it whatsoever.
Yeah, amazing stuff. I saw someone today. I forget every now and then I see someone.
I don't forget. Every morning I've woke up since to be like, that really happened, didn't it?
I saw someone in Tesco today that just was wearing like a Winners 24-25 hoodie. And I was like,
Okay.
A nice little repeater. Matt also continues, though. Complete dominance. Now we're going to go and win a real trophy, though. Legends Lounge coming soon.
Retracted. See, this is the difference, man. This is the difference between the humble northerners and the ones who just win it all the time. You know what I mean?
Hi to the wonderful Larry Robb. Thank you so much for your donation,
Hello,
Larry. Yet again, you're far too kind. He says, just want to wish everyone a great weekend. I can only think about Vegas. 2 weeks today. We'll be at the HyperX.
I'm in full Vegas mode now, like I have to say. A few little bits of clothes have started to come that I've ordered.
I need to get some Vegas clothes. That's a great shout. Yeah. Larry says, if you're going to the live show and want a Dr. Fed shirt, hit me up. Thank you, legends.
There you go.
There you are, Phil. Get yourself a Dr. Fed shirt. I know you want one.
I know you
do.
There might be some news dropping on Vegas.
We're not going.
On Vegas, just on Vegas. Sorry, guys, it's cancelled.
Oh, womp womp.
If you tune into Raw Ups and Downs, there might be a little announcement of a little thing happening at a little casino called Luxor.
Interesting.
So watch this space.
Do I know what this is?
Probably.
I bet I don't, you know.
I'm convinced I don't because they don't tell me anything because I accidentally say things.
You do accidentally say things.
Not as bad as Andy this week, but Andy legitimately said something so out of bounds that we just had to bleep like 10 seconds of audio.
So out of bounds? I assume it was like a bit of information as opposed to...
He said it was information we were not supposed to let loose.
We went on some absolutely horrific rant.
It was... I was like, what are you doing, buddy?
I have to stop talking.
Shut up.
Fun things happening at Luxor Hotel and Casino. Is all we can say for now.
It's good.
Hi to the wonderful Eric Vasquez. Great first name, Eric. He says, happy Friday, guys and gals. Sunday will be 1 year since I met most of the lads post NXT stand delivery. As well as Scott, the Reigns as Mr. Blair and others. Still doesn't seem real. Can't wait to run it back someday. Can't believe that. Yeah. I keep getting these things come up on my time hop at the moment. Of here's where you were a year ago. Here's where you were 2 years ago. I think I was looking at it just before we started, actually. I'm fairly certain that 2 years ago today... Yeah, a year ago today, we had just arrived in Philly. That's us on the Rocky Steps. A year ago today was Wale Mania. That's good to know.
Yeah. Suppose you remember.
He needs his phone for that. He'll not remember it.
And 2 years ago today, do you want to remember what we were doing?
Do you remember? We were in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Were we up at Griffith Observatory?
It was our last day. We were going around to see all the
no,
tourist sites.
No,
laughing and joking.
No. We were going around all the tourist sites, and you were being dragged. You were like, it was like Weekend at Bernie's. He was just like, put the sunglasses on him and take him everywhere he needs to go.
I mean, that Mexican Coke at Danny Trejo's restaurant saved me. I was like, Sugar, I'm back.
A Mexican Coke and a Broken Skull IPA, if I recall correctly, which was a great combination.
A year late, too late.
Revived you.
But
hey, it is what it is, eh? You still got to drink it, and it was nice. I enjoyed it. I love seeing these pop up there. I think it was 6 years ago today as well that we flew to New York.
Damn.
Believe it or not, every year WrestleMania is kind of around the same time. But it must be nice
funny
though
when those when there's like the pandemic ones. You're like, real sad.
No mania, just a mask, and not a fun mask. Actually, while we're talking about this, because I wasn't here, and I don't know if the three of you, well, that's impossible because I wasn't here. Come on, Nicholas, get your brain in gear. We haven't had a chance to just talk about our live tour.
Yes.
No, shut up, you.
I haven't spoken about this.
Nah, did you have a nice time? Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh yeah, you were.
Look at you. Look at Look at this guy.
We outnumber you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was.
Hey, you can go anytime you want, buddy.
I mean, I've only been here 5 minutes. I can bugger off again.
I barely had my head on by the end of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like this insane crash course, 4 days?
Yep.
And then like, oh, that's good. Oh, God, back down to London. And then even like crazier stuff with Sweet Chin Disco. But our tour itself was just so fun. Yet again, you know, the age-old thing of like, so nice just getting out and meeting people, putting...
So nice just getting out.
Yeah, just getting out, to be honest.
Getting out the house.
But like putting faces to names, seeing people like Fraser Cranium and stuff like that.
Incredible, man. Like, genuinely, there was a moment, so when me and Phil were on the door letting people in and Fraser turned up.
Yeah.
And I found his real name out as well, which is nice, because I felt we had just constantly going,
yeah,
Fraser Cranium. So that was nice. But so Fraser comes to the door, and Phil goes like, here, look who it is, da, da, da. And he was like, all being like sound with him. And I was thinking, is this just one of like Phil's friends?
Yeah.
Who lives in Glasgow, maybe? I was like looking at the two of them thinking, they could be friends. They probably know each other from another world. And I was like, yeah, man, just up there, off you go. And then I was like, do you know him? He's like, it's Fraser. And I literally said, I was like, oh, for God's sake. So I went running to catch him, but he went in the bathroom.
Him off.
He went to the bathroom, and I was like, I can't just follow him into the bathroom. That's weird. So I had to go and I told the Dadleys he was here, and then came back and sort of loitered a bit, and then was like, hey, there he is. Give him a proper hello.
Yeah.
I don't know
Lovely to see you, Fraser.
Was
Genuinely, a lovely experience.
I don't know
As
how
it
people
was
live
most
that
of the people.
life, though, the tour life.
I know, we
Waking
did it
up
for like 4
different
days or whatever, and
cities, never know what time it is or anything like that.
It breaks your brain. And we did a tiny version of that.
a
Can you imagine
teeny
what it's
tiny
like
version
being
of
in a rock band or being
Oh,
an actual
God.
wrestler who does
Yeah.
like the full world tour?
All year
like an
round.
actual
We all
world
got
tour.
ill
Yeah.
after we got back. We were all like, go.
Everybody got to a throat and to a
Yeah.
cold and that kind of thing. Can we talk about our Belfast digs?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Can we talk about that? Are we
I
allowed
didn't
to?
talk about that last week.
heard
But that's
this,
definitely
yeah.
something
So
new.
you probably haven't heard. See, I told you we had stuff to talk about. We haven't seen each other. Literally, I haven't been here since we got back. And then about 1 day after I was back, I could feel it coming on, and I was like, I'm going to take myself away from the office, so I'm not. And when I came back, like a couple of days, like 4 days later, everybody had it anyway.
Yeah.
So it was like I've been sitting in my flat, coughing and sneezing, and I was like, I could just be in the office with all you people. But so we. Very sportingly, I think it's fair to say. We went to Belfast and we had 2 different. And by the way, the whole tour was great. Like we had some amazing ups, definitely some downs in terms of like logistical problems that happened. But I was
it was cursed.
very.
We went
It was
through
cursed
the
from
various
we
curses
did
last
Day we were
very-
in the office filming the news going, this is going to be a fun few days, isn't it?
Yeah, we had it, literally. You can't start it worse than Heathrow being on fire.
Yeah.
Although you could have, because like I keep saying, if it had been a week earlier, I would have missed the football, which would have killed me. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we had a bunch of different things happen. Belfast was an absolute delight in terms of like the venue was amazing.
The Limelight was so good.
Shout out to the guys at
the
the Limelight. And I did try to tell them last week on WrestleCulture. The man's name was Gareth. And he was the top guy. He completely had everything under control, organised the exact antithesis of usually what we're like. No, that's not true. I think we're getting better.
We're getting better,
it's
but he
harder.
was very, very
He was
good.
very, very
Yeah.
good. The whole team there was fantastic. We appreciate it. And so we stayed in some digs in Belfast. But it got to the point where it was like, we had 2 rooms. One was a proper hotel.
Okay.
And one was an Airbnb. Phil had got 2 splits. And there's meant to be more of us, wasn't there?
There
And because of the
were,
way
yeah.
that it worked out, there was only like 4 of us instead of 6 or something
Yeah,
like that.
because
No
Simon
Miller.
couldn't make it because Heathrow was on fire.
No Andy.
And Murray was still
and
here.
Murray was
obviously.
ill, yeah.
So basically, we get there, and it was like, we thought, we'll make a deal. Like, we'll figure out who's
We'll say
staying
as
in
well
what
before you
rooms.
get into this. Obviously, we've got to keep prices quite low on these
Yes,
trips
we're
because
trying
it's
to-
expensive to take everyone around everywhere.
Can you see where it's going? I think you can. So we had the hotel. Hamlet, we did a little draw, but we basically said Hamlet and Sidge would stay together, and me and Phil would stay together.
Yeah.
So they ended up in the hotel, and we were no problem at all. We just wanted to get in. We had this apartment elsewhere.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, we arrive at the apartment, and it's like, how would you explain it, Phil? Have you ever seen the film The Raid? Or like,
Yes.
or
Well,
Judge,
first off, like-
or the Judge Dredd remake, where it's basically a copy of The Raid. This was like less futuristic version of, you know, those like high rises where the middle's missing. So it's just like all the apartments are around, but it goes really high.
Yeah.
And this is no shade on high rises in general, but
No,
this
no.
specific high rise
specific one was-
was
Had vibes.
Had a vibe.
Definitely had a vibe. We
vibe.
also couldn't get into the building when we first got there because the code they gave us for the door just didn't work.
Codes didn't work, and
we were
just
lucky that someone was coming out, so we did that thing where I just sneak into a building.
So we managed to get in, and I don't want to go too hard because you never know, we have to stay there again. But I mean, it's safe to say we will not be staying there again. You get in, and like the smell I've described it to Phil was like a cleaning product that you've never smelt before from like the 70s, maybe. Mixed with like, imagine if people had just been smoking in this, I'll call it a reception. It was like a large tiled area before you got the lift.
Yeah.
With a couple of lockers and stuff. And it smelled like 100 people had been smoking in there combined with cleaning products. Yeah. And it was like baked into everything. So we get in the lift. Lift's a bit juddery.
Janky.
But it's fine. We get in. We go up, get to the room.
Well, then we open it. It's like we didn't know about this courtyard.
Literally didn't know about the courtyard. Also, open
opens
like,
up and you're like,
hello.
Where are we?
Oh my
God. So you open and exit the list and you've like gone back in time or something.
We'll never meet any of the people who live in this building. I don't think, Phil. So we might. Lovely. I'm sure they were lovely people. However, the building itself, to call it a markup perhaps from prison, would not be unfair.
Picture it as
would not be unfair, man. So we get to the house, we get in, and by the way, the actual room itself, the beds were, well,
they were beds.
What was that?
There was 2 rooms. One had a double bed in, which I ended up in, and there was one with 2 single beds. One bed of which was fine, I assume.
Yeah.
The other bed, which before we even got there, was literally like hollowed like this. The bottom of the bed was a divot like this.
Yeah. I laid in it, and then it like the whole bed swallows you because it's so broken.
Don't get in the crevice.
Yeah. So. I went to go in the bathroom, and when I went to the bathroom, the handle just came off. Just immediately came off the door. So we just kept having little moments like this.
The phone just had a wire.
The phone just a wire. It wasn't connected to anything.
It was just a wire
nobody
dangling.
rang that apartment in some time. That was a long time since anybody called. It had a really nice view of the city, actually, weirdly, out the back from the main living room. And it was very spacious.
It was very spacious.
If I'm being nice about it.
Fine.
It did. It
was.
It reminded me of Student Digs, is what it reminded me of.
It let us sleep.
It did.
And the main
that was the main thing. However, on night 1, we go out, we come back, we get in the lift, we go to bed, sound.
Fine.
Right?
Fine, absolutely fine.
We go to go and meet the boys in the morning. We go out the flat, we lock the flat, we go to the lift. Phil opens the door and he goes, oh, what's this then? And basically, we were on
the photo that I saw.
Yeah, right? We were on the 7th floor, and obviously buttons on the lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6, which wasn't like this the night before, was covered in what appeared to be, and I'm pretty sure, about 99% sure, was the smeared blood all the way,
a bloody hand imprint as
all
well.
the way across number 6.
Something had happened to someone who was going to number 6.
Who really needed to get floor.
Needed to get to floor 6.
Needless to say, we did not go and check out the rest of floor 6.
Good.
For fear of
perhaps
we would have had to press the 6 button first, which would have been hard enough. And then actually, the idea of maybe that was just a trail of blood leading to where
just open it up and it's The Shining, but behind the first blood it comes in.
So basically, you've never seen 2 guys press like 1, quicker, come on, 1,
let's go.
Doors like slowly shutting. And that did not get cleaned up for the duration of our stay.
Wow.
Stayed there the whole time. No more buttons got covered in blood, were harmed during the making of this Belfast trip.
Yeah, just that one.
But
poor soul on floor
needless
6.
to say, me and Phil felt very good about ourselves for taking a bullet, because if we'd sent Hamlet and Sidgwick there,
my God, can you imagine?
They would have had an absolute meltdown, I believe.
That would have been the end.
It would have. Well, we would have never seen them again. Ever again.
It.
They would have had to just book their own room, I guess. A new room somewhere else.
And I'm just waiting for the horror story just called Floor 6. That
Inevitably. If anyone ever hears about something that happened,
they're going to be appealing for witnesses. They'll be like, there's some lads talking on a podcast.
Actually. So, yes, a lovely experience as a whole, but that was a funny little tidbit from our Belfast digs.
Very glad it worked out that it was us 2 in there.
Because it would have been, all that would have happened was they would have just rang you repeatedly while I slept in the hotel, which would be fine for me. It would have been a nightmare for you. So
we're not staying here, Phil. Sorry, mate.
But yes, the whole trip was great. The boys were very brave. I saw you talking about it. You did push them. You pushed them into little realms. I said the boys. I'm not doing you a disservice here, Hamlet and Sidgwick. I don't mean to call you out, my friend. But the most organised man when he's dad.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're dad, it's like, How do I move? what are feet? Pick, place, go. What? Breathe. So yes, it was a very fun experience. I'm sure it was very different for you while on the bus, which broke down multiple times.
Oh, God, yeah. I was 2 hours late to our Glasgow show. Apologies again for that. Got on left Manchester at 3 a.m. Woke up at 7 a.m. in Stranraer.
That's right. Who were they?
To get on the ferry. I had no idea where I was in the world.
This was all happening while our taxi driver was explaining, like, I hope they're not coming from there because it's like a 6-hour ferry ride. And I was like, oh, no. But they'd literally driven to what?
He'd broken quite a few laws. Yeah, to drive up to Stranraer from Manchester just to make it in time to get onto the ferry.
Yeesh.
Same when we were coming back from Belfast. Then we did Nottingham. And then, Glasgow, where Xavier Woods' colleagues on the Hurricane showed up. And then London, obviously. I've told this story on numerous occasions now. Tama Tonga showed up and we reminisced about Haku trying to kill us all.
He was asking for you. He's like, where's that guy?
Where is he?
Choke his ass out again. Genuinely, first chance I've had to say thank you to everybody who came. And those have been, I think, based on all the hiccups that were happening around it, that we were trying to keep it together, I think those were some of my favourite shows in terms of like how we've managed to adapt and how we managed to try different things. And the Glasgow one in particular for me, I felt like, for me personally, as in my actual being on stage, I felt like that was I guess I was just shooting on the rock.
Yeah,
so it was great.
Life's easy when
life's easier when you shoot on the rock, man. It's great.
Now there's just the small issue of playing Las Vegas 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
WhatCulture.com/tickets if you want to join us for that one. Let's read out some more comments. Hi to Rob, who says, happy Friday. Random. I was wondering if you guys watched Dark Side of the Ring. I know you don't have much free time, but they did an episode on Mick Foley, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Cheers.
Rob, I have not seen this. I didn't even know they had.
Yeah.
I saw that the Ludwig Borger one's just dropped, and I've
not watched any of the new season yet.
No, me neither. I need to watch it because I remember in the pandemic I would watch it religiously, maybe on work time. Because I distinctly remember the Herb Abrams, the Benoit one you can't really enjoy, but it was fascinating to watch that. The Herb Abrams one was just class.
Yeah. I love Dark Side. It's the only thing, one of the very few things that me and my girlfriend watch together because she's not a massive wrestling fan or anything, but the stories behind it are obviously
Royal Rumble on a birthday.
Royal Rumble on a birthday, but she
has
to watch that because it's the Royal Rumble. Yeah. She's not more important than the Royal Rumble.
Sorry, Phil's girlfriend.
But because it's the stories behind it, you don't need to be a wrestling fan to not, again, like you say, don't enjoy the stories, but at least be fascinated by the stories behind it all.
And the madness that are taking place.
And they're really well put together and they're really good. I didn't know they'd done a Mick Foley one though.
Yeah, that's
very
interesting.
Shout out to Mick Foley. It's in the car crash he was in.
Jesus.
So I didn't actually.
My God.
I didn't look any further. I saw one of the many accounts that just saying an update on Mick Foley, but I didn't click through. So
I saw because he put a thing on Instagram just saying thanks for all the shout outs. I'm okay. It's incredible that I got out of this with just soft tissue damage, and he's not going to miss any of the dates that he's going to or anything like that. And I was like, that's pretty crap. And then later he put a picture of the car, and he was like, holy.
Yeah,
balls.
Properly totaled.
That is completely wrecked.
It was terrifying when he just put that up, and it's you never want to hear Mick having a concussion, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, he must have been in a pretty bad, pretty bad. Jesus!
Yeah, that car is.
As he walked away,
completely screwed. Nuts.
Me.
I guess he's just real good at taking bumps.
Well, get well soon, Mick Foley. I didn't actually know that, so there you go.
Get well soon. But I will definitely check out the episode.
Dark Side, and he's been in vogue on you guys did a Q&A recently. They're pretty heavily centered around Mick Foley, which is available on the channel.
Because I'm involved and most things normally do.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but Phil is a Mick Foley guy. And wherever possible, he will tell you about Triple H versus Cactus Jack. Wherever possible.
Wherever possible. We'll have our things.
We do.
Thank you to Matthew Rodriguez, who...
look at you getting fancy with your pronunciation. Steve Nicolakopoulos feeling absolutely outraged right now.
Apparently, Kevin Owens might be out of WrestleMania.
What?
Oh, what?
An undisclosed injury. PWN reporting this. I've just literally searched online thanks to Matthew's comment. According to the report, KO's WrestleMania match with Randy Orton is said to be in jeopardy.
Damn.
That's not good.
That sucks.
That is not good.
But good job they did Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn when they did, really. So,
See?
pretty correct.
Jesus.
Let it play out.
Jesus.
Told you so.
Yeah.
How have you not got a job with them yet, man?
Ridiculous.
How have you not got a job
Sam
with them
Roberts
yet?
can do it. Why can't I?
Yeah. Incredible.
Hi to John Catter. Thank you for your several comments from you, John. Thank you. Says happy Friday, lads. EO has to win at WrestleMania. All right, feel like WWE is saying, well, we gave you EO as champ. Now what we're going to do, what we actually wanted, especially with how she's been treated. Yeah, I do really hope EO gets to shine in that triple threat. It's not a triple threat yet, but it's going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. I think it's the more interesting outcome to any of this. Like, she's been on the cusp of sort of like main event of the women's division scene. Like, she's obviously held the championship and stuff, but it's never felt like they've really put everything into her on the main roster anyway. Obviously, they did in NXT. So, I think it's a sort of fresh matches that like shouldn't feel fresh because she's been there for ages, but somehow do if she's at the top of it all. So I think it's definitely the more interesting outcome.
I think it's probably a great way to have the Bianca and Rhea thing. Just make that a longer term thing.
Yeah.
Like they can get in each other's way and stop each. Like that's kind of the narrative here, isn't it? Like,
yes.
Getting in each other's way. EO's the champ now. Like have that just happen again at like Mania.
It's awkward. It's awkward to draw comparisons to it, but it is very reminiscent of Triple H, HBK, Benoit, isn't it? Just like, well, we're the two stars. Like, no, don't sleep on. John also says, secondly, I've been watching LFG, and it's possible that Taker is more full of you-know-what than Hogan. He was telling one of the kids he'd been using his Hell's Gate for his entire 30-year career. It's a crap move as well.
I was going to say, I'd be like, you can have it. Please take it from me. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the Hell's Gate. He's pulling their throat onto his shin a bit.
I don't think, with respect, I'm not sure anybody will ever reach the level of the Hulkster when it comes to
Complete bollocks.
However, I think the only thing that's happened with the Dead Man over the years is that all of these ideas of like what you're meant to do as a wrestler and like the boys and the business, it's all rubbish.
Yeah.
Like, and the more he talks and the more things he does, the bigger hypocrite he becomes. And it's like people are seeing it now more frequently than ever. And all the people who get on the Dudley's backs whenever they do this, you guys would never do that to him in person. No, they wouldn't. You're correct. You're correct. They would not do that. But they don't have to do it in person because they're doing it right here. But tell me when they're telling lies because that man, God, go out on your back. They all said, didn't they? But yes, go out on your back. How many of them have ever actually gone out on their back? I bet you can count on one hand how many of them actually went out on their back.
I'd say like the Dead Man, it's a bit like, okay, you can kind of misremember, like, oh, we'd never do that back in my day. Well, what about when you did this? Okay, well, that doesn't count. But like, Hogan just invents things. Like, oh, me and John Belushi were partying WrestleMania weekend.
I was in Metallica.
Yeah. That's just making stuff up, guys.
That's like next level, isn't it? That's
Elvis is a big
unhinged level.
Elvis was a huge Hogan fan from the Grieve. Like, come on, Terry.
Come on,
we've all had a few. Let's just.
How can I insert myself into this scenario?
No, the Undertaker thing just makes you realize how toxic the old school wrestling mentality really was. Like, you knew it, like behind the scenes, obviously. But it's like, my God, some of the stories that come out, it's like, you're just a dick.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't something to be proud of. You're just an asshole.
So when you ever hear about hazing, I was like, oh, not great that, but it means to an end. Oh, that's just ruined someone's confidence and now they no longer do this as a career. That's not really welcome them into the business.
Thanks.
You're just a dick who essentially is expensing his travel and like any spends on food and drink, especially beer, on somebody who's new in the business because you're taking advantage of them. You're claiming it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
It's not a rite of passage. Actually, the rite of passage, pal, is you buying them the beers.
Yeah.
Because they're brand new and make them feel welcome.
I did it. People before me did it. Why don't you just stop doing it?
Yeah.
Imagine you just started an office job and then all that crap started happening to you. You'd be going to HR and God.
Imagine that ever happening, eh? Could you ever imagine that?
Yeah, I knew someone who relatively recently started working an office job and they did one of their first deals and they were like, well, tradition, dirty pint, we're all going to pour something into a pint, you have to drink it. And they were like, no.
Why? This is the thing, man, this cyclical thing of like, well, it happened to me, so it's got to happen to you. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, imagine if you just broke the cycle.
Yeah.
And then you
Did you like it?
Yeah.
No. So don't.
Yeah,
do
but
it.
I had to do it. Well, I'm sorry it happened to you. Here's a hug.
So when we were doing
Let's all move on.
we
Let's
were
just
doing
move
our own
on.
live streams and like we were like, what are we going to do for the punishment? I think it was Nicholas. He was just like, would you just not do one? I didn't think.
I think it was after the first week, the first time we did
Yeah.
it, because we
Yeah.
obviously followed the imprint of the guys before. Shout out
Yes.
to the Cultaholic boys. Like, and then I had that moment. I was like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, that's their thing.
That's not our thing. And also,
It was when we got
nobody
to
is
the point where we
enjoying
were like,
this.
Yeah.
we were like, someone has to zip line off the time, or just not.
I remember you walking over the Tyne Bridge in the
Dressed as
freezing
Bret Hart,
cold,
yeah.
dressed as Bret Hart, and I remember specifically being wrapped up for that and going, "What is this?
What are we doing?
And also, but that's old WhatCulture days. But like, we obviously are now much more involved in like our workloads and how much we do and know how much we can achieve in a day. What a waste of time! What a waste of time and the amount of work we could have done during that. And I'm not even like the guy who's like, "Hey, you should work super hard."
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
You work as hard as you can and as much as you'd like to, I guess. But genuinely, we had the entire office walking across a bridge.
Yeah.
It was like half an hour, 45 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
No money was getting made off that. Nobody was. It was bad business.
Bad
Business, not best for business. I take no pride in that.
Finally, hi to Just Darrell, who says, I've just driven by the Allstate Arena. In about 100 trucks, I spotted the Miz Express. Oh, boy. Happy Friday, goats. Manifesting WhatCulture live in Chicago.
Oh, you and me
yeah.
both. Who was that, sorry?
Darrell,
you and me both. I went
One
to
day
Chicago
now.
last year for the first time. Was it last year? Yeah. Let's just say last
when we
year.
visit the airport. That's my favourite thing about it.
There's a dinosaur.
No, but I actually made out at the airport
Okay,
this time
fair
on an actual trip of America. I would have to... it's tough because it's recency bias. But I think Chicago might have edged
Chicago's better than
New York for me. In terms of like...
I'm putting it out there.
No,
Chicago's better
in
than
terms
New York.
of what struck me the most was like it's the space. Like imagine. Sorry, everybody from New York. I know you're gonna get mad. I look forward to your
York's very
I look
cool
forward to your letters. Imagine that, but then New York. Obviously, I love New York as well. But like having a bit more breathing space and the city.
Imagine taking New York and just getting all the trash off the streets.
City,
Lovely.
I actually had that moment where I went, "Where's all the rubbish? Where's all the rubbish?" And it's like, I guess they just decided they didn't want to do that. But the point being,
You know,
like,
a massive fire would be the best thing that could happen to a city.
the city genuinely feels though
I'm
like
sure it
it's
was bad at the time.
I'm sure it was very bad. Thoughts and prayers to everybody who's in the fire. But like, it actually feels like the city is tailored to the people. He has a city that is designed for you to live in it, rather than here's a city, good luck living in it.
Yes.
New York's amazing. I cannot stress enough. I love New York,
Yeah.
but like, it is like if you want to go to New York, you better get on the line and just go. You're going in that lane, or you're going in
Just
that lane.
survive.
And you're
Yeah.
going fast, and if you're in somebody's way, you're getting curb stomped, asshole. Like a beautiful place and a magical place, but when you're like just dropped in
Oh,
it,
yeah.
oh my god.
Before we get to this week's hashtag Bloody Good quiz, just a very simple, I don't need a long answer here, question ahead of Dynasty this weekend, because we haven't had a chance to really talk about it. The Dadleys have previewed it.
Yeah.
Will Jon Moxley be dethroned?
God, I
on
hope
Sunday?
so. No.
I
don't
think
think so.
I think no, but I would like it to happen. I think most people would like it to
really
happen,
like it to
but
I don't think so. I think if they've come this far, they're going to stick to their guns and see whatever
Texas?
this is out. Yeah.
I will say this, as I discuss frequently on this podcast and sometimes at a live show every now and again. A man who is a bad wrestling fan at the moment. Haven't watched loads of wrestling. Like I watch the little snippets here and there on YouTube to keep up to date. I, for the first time in a long time, felt something. Really, really felt something when I saw the clip of Hangman and Page. Hangman and Page? He was just talking to himself. Yeah, Hangman and Swerve backstage.
Yeah.
And like when they were going at it, and then the acknowledgement of, I know, like I do deserve this. That's the sort of stuff. It used to be every week.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there watching that, I remember this time where everybody had motivations and everybody had memories and it all just felt like it fit. That really did something to me. I've like, should I just flick? It was the first time in years I thought, should I flick this on and watch it? I don't know. So all that confirms to me is whether he wins or not against Jon Moxley, Swerve is one of the main characters to me. Hangman is one of the main characters. And the sooner you get back to this kind of, I saw Hamflett put out a tweet that said they were the tree.
Yes.
They often talk about Roman Reigns being
Mr.
the tree
Jeans in the chat
of
says
WWE.
everyone's saying it.
And it's like, to me, it's right there. There's your narrative. Start the branches, make it happen. I will give you all my money. The day those two team up after all that, man. Oh, God. Remember when you felt something? Amazing.
All right, enough of all this.
Actually, what do you think?
No, I agree with both of you. I don't think I will bite on a near fall 100% on Sunday, but I think Mox is holding it until when is it? June, July.
Yeah.
Any match you're really looking forward to on Dynasty?
The triple threat that'll be bonkers. Kenny Omega, Speedball, and Ricochet. And I am genuinely invested in are they going to just belt up Megan Bain like that?
Yeah.
Well, and Osprey Kevin Knight's going to be good as well. Jericho's on the show too. Right, enough all this. It's now time for a bloody good quiz. And this week's quiz is brought to you by, I've just realised I've not thought of someone. I'll give it to Adam Blair. This time last week, myself and the wonderful Adam Blair, who takes care of the
data.
Thanks, on the ladies' nights on the Dynamite preview and review podcast. Having a pint with him this time last week ahead of London.
Oh, did you actually? Did you
I
catch him?
managed to meet up with him.
Nice. I was thinking, is he meant to say a year ago? And he literally means a week ago.
He was very, very kind. Bought me a pint. He was heading to watch the show, and I was heading back to meet up with my now personal friend, Mark Henry. I've got his number, and he's genuinely told us to message him when we're in Vegas. So.
Yeah.
That's
new number. Who dis?
Yeah, 100%.
Straight away.
Who dis?
He did at one point. He wanted me to mention something on the stage for Sweet Chin Disco about some shows that he's doing at WrestleMania, and he just said, "Oh, there you go, text it to yourself." And I just completely didn't think maybe that's an American phone, so I just like, "Yeah, no worries," send. Then just watched on his phone after I'd locked it and about to give it back to him, just like, message didn't work. So I look like an idiot. I'm like, how do you do my number on your phone?
I can just turn his phone to his face to get his face scanned.
Yeah, can I have your thumb?
Yeah. Can I have your thumb?
But considering what everyone's been saying this week, this week's quiz is all about wrestling fumbles.
I knew it.
I heard the song before.
Didn't we all?
Pamphlet played it for The Office. You'll be.
Good.
He's the number one fan. He's the number one WrestleCulture fan. And if anybody would like to challenge Hamlet to be the number one WrestleCulture fan, come to Las Vegas. Matt Reigns will tell you it's not an easy task, but if someone would actually... And tell you what, Hamlet... In fact, right now, I'm going to do this. Hamlet, if you are watching this, you probably aren't at this point, it was maybe just the start. I'm going to put your life out there for someone to challenge you. Don't kill him. But the point I'm trying to make is he claims himself to be the number one WrestleCulture fan. He doesn't. I just made that up. If you want to beat him for that title, Vegas is your opportunity.
Yes.
Come to the live show. Michael Hamford does not shy away from a challenge. Matt Reigns, I know you're not coming this time, but if someone would like to try and step up to the plate.
He can speak on this,
He can speak on it. It's not an easy feat, but maybe someone will step to the plate.
I meant to listen to last week's WrestleCulture. I'm going to listen to it because of... comments that have already started flooding in saying
I'm so sorry.
Good luck being Hamlet's quiz from last week.
Second worst quiz ever.
No, that might be worse.
You're thinking that was worse than the first
I need to watch this.
It's brother.
Like
this is, in fact, I'm not sorry, Hamlet. This is the payback for that. It was not good.
Not good. It is not worth your time.
Was it an AI quiz that he did before?
Yeah, that was the worst.
AI quizzes.
Yeah, they were both AI quizzes. Yeah.
See?
Fundamentally, really, really bad. Like
bad.
I know we probably looked like it the first time, but it was a weird experience watching it. Poor Sidgwick, man, looked like he was. I could see him thinking, I could be doing anything else right now.
I'm gonna get this.
My favorite part was when Sidgwick started getting them right, and then he was into it.
Well,
no matter how
this is the problem. And he's going,
I
hit myself. He's like, I want to win though. I do want to win. So
this is terrible, but I'm in.
I disagree with this. However. And it was the post-Studio Ghibli stuff as well, and I was like, we cannot do this today.
Stop ruining all the things I like.
Yeah.
Matt Reigns,
sorry.
Matt Reigns has said, don't bother chat, you don't want none of pamphlets.
Your smoke too, what is it? Your smoke too big, too fat.
Mr. Jeans writes, call him Mr. Jeans.
Mr. Jeans. Sorry, Mr. Jeans. It's my favourite Mr. Jeans pops in. Call me Mr. Jeans.
Hamlet's quiz last week was Heroes of Wrestling bad. I want to finish my quiz as quickly as possible now.
I think that's really unfair on Heroes of Wrestling.
I think it is too. Yeah. That was not done by AI. That was humans.
Well, my quiz is written by me.
Absolutely inebriated. That's the
Yeah.
AI
Yes,
that was happening
yeah.
on that show. So, you know.
My quiz is, I'd like to say, better than last week's.
I will go out on a limb right now and say it will be better than
10
last week.
questions,
Well, it's a good start.
multiple choice.
Oh, even better.
Great start.
Shout out your name, wait for me to come to you. And remember, question 10 is always the hardest question of all.
Why was AI so obsessed with bangers and kilts
I
or
have
skirts
no
or something?
idea.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Of course you remember. You lived it.
I did live it. It also got none of it was even
It was terrible.
vaguely correct.
No, or funny. Anyway,
Yeah, at least you could probably work out how my brain works for a lot of these.
let's have an AEW quiz instead.
Oh,
That's what I want. That's you. That's your initials.
well, I have.
Oh.
I thought you were trying to say AEW, and I was just like, yep. Yeah, we've done AEW quizzes before.
Well done. Adam Wilbourn. That's you. Remember?
That's how you spell your name. So these are questions all about people wrestling has fumbled.
Okay.
So we'll start with Ricky Saints.
Okay.
Artificial will intelligence.
It's just literally we have to say a fumble or no fumble, and you have the answer.
Yeah, correct.
That's the
If they're
multiple
all
choice.
Multiple choice.
Fumble or no
Fumble and no fumble.
They've jumped from
His name's
AEW,
a wrestler.
correct. It's a fumble.
Remember, it's what I've got written down here.
Who was Ricky Starks' last singles match on AEW against?
Yeah.
Was
crikey.
it Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Preston Vance, or Sting?
Jeez Louise, that's a lot of...
God. If I had any memory at all, we went through this a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? On WrestleCulture, I don't know whether you were here. We went through his
no,
last
well,
matches or
I've
how
never
long
yet.
it was. Since his
Yes,
last matches.
yeah.
It's been a while. I've either
But,
been
I
doing
mean, I
best
don't
match
His
remember
ever.
last,
today,
his
let alone a
last
few weeks
match
ago.
was the tag title thing to Darby and Sting, but I want his last singles match,
Okay.
which is even longer ago than that.
Longer era.
What's
What
the
were
options again?
Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara,
I'm trying to remember last week. I can't remember 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, I know.
Jericho, Guevara, Preston Vance, or Sting.
Nicholas, I have absolutely no idea. Sammy Guevara. Yay! There you go. Yeah.
Also with no idea.
Yeah, genuinely.
Question number 2. So Ricky Saints broke Ethan Page's record for fastest time to win.
Is this just a Ricky Starks quiz?
It's not.
It was also a Ricky Saints quiz.
Yes.
Give him some
50-50.
credit.
He broke Ethan Page's records for fastest time to win a title since popping up on NXT. But how many days did it take Ethan Page to win the NXT Championship in NXT? Was it 20 days, 30 days, 40 days, or 69 days?
Nice.
you.
I don't know.
Great if it was that, just randomly. What was the...
Phil, 40 days.
That sounds about right, yeah. Yeah.
One each.
Pretty quick.
Question number 3. One of the biggest fumbles.
Ricky Steamboat.
One of the biggest fumbles people often mention is Zack Ryder within WWE. But when he first wrestled for WWE back in 2005, who squashed him on SmackDown in 76 seconds?
Jesus.
Was it my good friend Mark Henry?
Was he an edgehead then, or was this just like pre all
This is
that?
way before even that, yeah.
Just a guy on telly.
Just some
guy.
guy getting killed by either Mark Henry, Matt Morgan, Batista, or Heidenreich.
Ooh, there's some good options there.
Choices.
2005.
2005.
Nicholas. Again, we don't know. We never know. Heidenreich.
No, dear, that's
I want
wrong.
to get you.
I thought I would
Finally, once he pays off.
One time.
Matt Morgan.
Hey, I don't know who that is.
Big muscle guy who they didn't do a lot with.
Go with, and then he
Yeah,
gets turned into
you're going to have to be more specific, Phil. You're going to have to be more specific.
2-1 to Phil. Question 4. What happened in Keith Lee's first appearance on WWE television? Was it he played JBL's chauffeur? Was he an Undertaker druid? Did he get chinned by Vince McMahon?
Nicholas,
as
that one. That one. Because I spotted him.
Yeah.
And Hamlet was too scared to put it in the in the article. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's him, but I understand your reservations.
It's the build to
I remember that
Yeah.
conversation.
2009
I'm sure he actually
WrestleMania.
even tagged me in the article just to like, if anyone wants to blame anybody, blame him. Yeah.
No, it definitely was him. It's the build to 2009's WrestleMania, which is obviously Triple H, Randy Orton.
Unbelievable.
And they do the whole thing where it's
Like
like
squared
Randy
off,
Orton,
aren't they?
yeah, and the legacy, and it's like Vince and then Shane, and he's like, "Can I have my real son that I care about?" Here comes Triple H, and security. He's like, "Don't worry, I've got a big line of security," and they just go, "No, stop!" And then like Vince and Shane just get out of here and put the boots to him. Real bad. But at least we've got a great wrestle. Oh, no.
Yeah. And then he did it to him in his career as well.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you dress like a bear?
Call you Bear Cat.
Bear cat.
What? Cameron Luxton says, morning, when do you land in Vegas? I think Cameron might already be in the States.
Cameron was in Los Angeles, I believe, he said on the last pod.
Doing around.
I'm assuming Cameron's doing a bit of a trip of the
Carrying
US
hats
beforehand.
around.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wednesday evening?
Wednesday, yeah.
Ish. I don't want to say a specific time, Cameron, because the three of us all remember our flight to Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I thought you
via
meant
Dublin, Chicago.
I thought you meant because there'll be loads of people waiting at the airport
Yeah.
with
Like the Beatles.
that Wilbourn figures that they want signed for eBay. They're all just waiting there.
No, I don't want to jinx it. It's considering what happened on this tour we just went on.
What was that, the
Wednesday,
16th?
yeah. 16th.
16th. There you are. Wednesday the 16th.
All going well.
All going well, of course.
Going well.
That's 2-2. Yes.
Yeah.
Seem quite shocked about that.
How excited.
It's your call.
Perfect.
Yeah. There's only one person who ever cares about the actual end of this result.
Question 5. Which wrestler inspired Tony Storm, who, of course, WWE cream pied and then fumbled? Which wrestler inspired Tony Storm to get into the business? Was it Jeff Hardy, Mickey James, CM Punk, or the Boogeyman?
Those are some good options.
I really hope it's the Boogeyman.
Me too. Have I ever seen
She
her
saw
eat
this person
worms?
when she was 10 years old.
Phil, Jeff Hardy.
Unbelievably, yes.
Damn.
Not really a lot of comparisons there.
No, she did the rocker gimmick, and he was in a band. I don't know.
He was. Apparently, she was still like a massive mark when he signed for AEW.
Fair.
Tony Storm.
You never forget your childhood favourites, do you?
Yeah, fair point.
Shout out to Molly Holly.
Right.
Shout out to Dwayne, of course. Crushed the cup.
Retracted.
Question 6.
I can't even shout mine out anymore because they just went bad. No, I will always be happy to see. Would always be happy. Not always, like I say him every week. Mr. Copeland, for what he gave me
Yes.
prior.
He might get back in some banter soon with Christian. We can live in hope.
Fingers crossed.
What was Swerve Strickland's entrance theme when he worked on the Indies? Was it?
Ooh.
Quite the selection here. Take On Me by Aha. Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan. Don't You Want Me by the Human League.
Yeah.
Or Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
Good choice.
Thing is, Swerve is so cool.
Yeah, you
He
can
pull off
make any of them work.
all of them.
You know the rules. So do I. That's Swerve doing the dance with the big jacket on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Cameron's 30th birthday on Sunday. So happy birthday. Enjoy
Hey.
Disneyland for that, Cameron.
Indeed. What was the second one?
Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan.
Nicholas, that one.
Good. That would be good.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's worth watching.
It's a vibe.
Defy,
I love indie guys that
maybe.
pick good
Yeah.
themes. Rich Swan with All Night
That's exactly.
Long.
Oh, yeah.
Swear to God, I was
So
thinking. 'Cause I
good.
thought you'd put one of his tracks in there
Yeah.
on
I
purpose.
was going to, try
Just
and
throw it off. Yeah.
He's
He's a hell of a dancer as well.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
just you wait till the WhatCulture live show. You want to see his dance moves.
All right.
your dance moves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope you like the robot. Whoa.
I have
look at him.
He lives it.
I'm going to stage dive, though. So
Okay. Good luck. Front row. Seated.
Hopefully it'll go better than that.
Catch me!
that one I was showing you of the day. I don't know if anybody. I'm gonna shoot on the day actually because
Why not?
he sucks ass. there's a I don't even know what to call him. He's a music guy.
Yes.
Music man.
We'll call him an artist.
Yeah.
It's a very
For
loose.
want of a better term.
The day makes music and he's obviously big fans of Daft Punk and LCD Sound System. He did a remix, I think, for the Charlie XCX track Guess with Billie Eilish. Wears a suit, plays music, wears sunglasses, and thinks he's a vibe. And basically did an album that sounds exactly like LCD Sound System in 2004, 5-ish. And there's an incredible video on one of his
So
gigs
good.
and it's exactly how I imagine it'll happen for you. He basically goes to do a stage dive. I guess he didn't announce it, or just
Yeah.
maybe
Just
foolishly just
trust.
assumed, I'm so over, guys.
Yeah,
They'll
people
catch
catch
me.
me.
He jumps off the stage, whoop, and goes straight down. In fairness, he jumps into a crowd of like young women,
yeah.
Yeah.
like who Look, to be
not
fair,
expecting it in
I'm
any
thinking
way,
like
shape, or form.
early first gig vibes for these women.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're just happy to be there.
I mean, they've got to
And
be to
that's
be at
it.
one of
They
his
all
gigs.
basically go like, "Whoa!" And he just goes,
I will give
"Bam!"
plenty of advance warning and pick the strongest wrestling fans to try and catch me.
He's looking for Mark Henry in the crowd, like,
together.
"Catch me, Mark!
Get together.
Brings Mark.
Come catch me.
Yeah, come catch me." Please catch him. If he doesn't, please, for the love of, we need him.
Yeah, that's the Friday. We got a lot of stuff to do.
I'd like this.
long
I'd like to
weekend
see him
after
go straight down. It'd be
Never
funny,
done it.
but
I've always wanted to do it.
Never
I've
stage
never
dive.
crowd
the
surfed.
safest way to
have
do
stage
it is to ask them if they'll pass you, and then go back first and get passed by people.
Yeah, maybe that's
from front to
Yeah.
back, rather than just. I mean, you could jump.
I'll jump off the
You can
balcony.
jump.
Actually, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'm coming.
Scratch all that. He's coming off the balcony.
Matt Rain says, if I want to see a tall, lanky man do the robot, I'll just watch Peter Crouch.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's always who I think of with the robot as well. To be fair.
Right, 3-3. Question number 7.
Oh yeah, sorry. There's a quiz going on.
You may notice I went off on a bit of a tangent here.
You
did.
never.
Bobby Roode's another name that people think that was fumbled by WWE, apart from his phenomenal entrance, obviously.
I'm sorry, man. It was a good time. I can't believe I am one of those people. I'm like, how do you do that? Glorious was everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether people say it's just a theme song or not, doesn't matter. You've made this unbelievable thing
Yeah.
happen. People are obsessed with this thing, and it just
There was a few things from that era.
Turn it away.
Fandango had his moment with
Yeah.
like another thing where you're like, oh, you've got something here. Now you can do that. And then, no,
Yeah.
what if we bury him?
he seems
What do you
happy
think
as a
about that guy?
producer now.
Yes.
He does, yeah.
It's good. I can relate.
But what was Bobby Roode's first wrestling name? Was it
Bobby Roode.
Here we go.
Stupendous,
Oh, yeah.
Totally Awesome,
Good also.
Terrific, or Dick Pound?
There he is.
God damn
Look at
it.
him. He's just so chuffed with himself, isn't
Isn't he just?
he? Every week.
It's not even question 10.
I know, little bonus.
Yeah.
Stupid name one.
But he's
Give
not
us
put it as
give
in
us
it.
the first three, and then you can guess. I guess you can do the fourth one as well. if you
Okay.
want it.
Stupendous,
Yeah.
Totally Awesome, Terrific, or Dick Pound?
Phil, terrific.
It's good that.
No, dear, that's wrong.
That's one of mine.
Ah, did I say good? Or I meant- Number 1, stupendous.
No, dear, that's
Don't
wrong.
He was never going to put it as A. Come on.
It's fun, though, isn't it?
It's his one move.
We just gotta keep it. We just gotta keep
One
it.
move.
Gotta keep it exciting, guys.
Totally Awesome was the correct answer.
Yeah.
The worst one.
The worst one.
The worst one.
Dick Pound's, I think, in the
Oh,
Olympic.
yeah, that's the
It
worst.
says more about
It's a
you,
real
though.
Olympic committee person. It's called Dick Pound.
Good.
Just say your name's Richard.
It says more about you, though, that we assumed the worst ones, the bad ones, were yours. You see?
Well,
Yeah, this is true.
See what happened there? He's actually in trying to prove us wrong. He's actually proved us right.
Yeah. So, another close personal friend of mine, Wade Barrett, was
Hey,
absolutely
God.
fumbled on several occasions by WWE.
Yep.
But he's shown he can also act as well as wrestle. But which of these movies about vampires did he star in? Option A, Fanged Up.
Yep.
Oh, you've gone back. You've just gone for names again. Yeah.
Option
okay.
B,
There's one about suck in here. You better believe there's one about suck. Go on. Yeah.
Option B, Stake It or Leave It.
Good.
Yeah.
Option C, All Is Calm, All Is Fright.
Yeah.
Or option D, Suck It and See.
There it is.
Thank you.
C.
You're going to say All Is Calm, All Is Fright.
Yeah, because it's the worst one.
And it's probably like a Hallmark Christmas thing, right?
Oh.
Which might be that might work perfectly.
Good logic.
No, dear, that's
Think
wrong.
it'll work,
That was the worst one.
Fanged Up,
right?
Stake It or Leave It.
Yeah.
That is good. I'd watch
Suck
that.
It and See.
Suck it and see is you.
It's me.
Yeah. it's you.
So, how
It's
many
you.
different indicators
Yeah,
that
it's
that's
you
me?
and it's the Arctic Monkey, so it's you. So it's one or the other. Fanged up sounds so crap, so I'm going to go for fanged up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I went for the other one.
What if you're in prison, but it's run by vampires? That's the movie.
Like banged up, you see.
Oh, I was trying to figure out where the pun was.
Yeah,
So I was like,
there it
locked
is.
up? That doesn't work.
Locked up.
It won't bite me now.
that's terrible.
4-3. 4-3 to Adam Nicholas.
Is it?
Question 9.
Oh.
Oh, no, we haven't done this right, have we?
In one of his first wrestling matches, who did Rob Van Dam team with?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No. there's a theme here. Was it Rick Pear, Coconut Man?
You really have just gone back to the names, haven't you?
4 questions. He's like,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Well,
and there's one more
I'm
silly
I'm
names.
tired now. Tired now. Names are a thing. So,
Rick Pear,
Yeah.
Coconut Man,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Mango,
And he loves bananas, so it's a banana one.
or Blue Barry. Like Blueberry.
Blue Barry, though,
I
sounds
see.
like someone who's a bit dodgy. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Or Blue Barrymore.
Blue Barrymore sounds fine.
Yeah.
Blue
fine.
Barry, though.
Blue Barry, yeah.
Sounds like Blue Barry from the pub.
Blue
Yeah.
Barry.
Like,
You want to stay away, you want to stay away
don't-
from Blue Barry.
Don't go to Blue Barry's house. And make sure that camera's off when you get in.
What was the question?
If
I
you
have no
do.
idea. RVD.
Yes, it was the question was who it was about. In one of his first wrestling matches, who
Yeah.
did he team with? Rick Pear, Coconut Man, Mr. Mango, or Blue Barry?
Mr. Mango.
Yeah, that sounds like a good shout, Mr. Mango.
No, dear, that's wrong.
You have to get this
So it's
wrong. to
Blue
take it
Barry.
to-
I know it's Blue Barry or Coconut Man is the ones I think. it
Rick
is.
Pear, Coconut
So
Man.
I'm going to go for Rick Pear. Is who I'm going to go for.
I don't think it's Blue Barry because that's just like Blue World Order. I think that's where you're going with that. I think he's made
I'm
that up.
going for Rick Pear.
It's also Barry, which is a very
going for
Wilbourn
Rick
name to
Pear.
make up.
I think Rick Pear's got a real chance of being a winner.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Oh, what? No.
It was Coconut Man.
Oh, no way.
Which means, Phil, you still have a chance to win this. But
Hang on, draw it, right?
draw this, sorry.
I was going to say, that was
Yeah,
the whole
double
point.
points,
Otherwise,
sorry.
Actually, no. If he can get the last one, he can have double. I don't
No,
care.
no, no.
I don't care.
Send the fans home happy. A draw, best thing to do. It's the hardest question of all, of course, Phil.
I think we
Question
deserve
10.
more credit for how many quizzes we actually managed to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Hell-
not even with your help.
Hell of.
I've just Googled Coconut Man to see if I can find a picture of him.
Any ideas?
Not one.
Okay.
It's either incredibly racist or it's not the right person.
Okay. Well, moving swiftly on.
Indeed. Question 10. Woo! Taz is another name that WWE fumbled after such an amazing debut, of course, at the Royal Rumble. But he made his name wrestling in ECW.
That is where he got the name Taz. Yeah.
Yep.
But which of these names did he team with back in 1994?
Butch.
So he's working ECW and he's teaming with people.
Why are you telling me? I'm not playing.
But Phil, did he team with
Oh, I wonder which one it can be.
Johnny Hotbody, Gary
Probably not A.
Okay.
He'd never put it
You
in
never
A.
put it here because it is question 10 after all. So
Yeah.
use your brain.
Johnny Hotbody,
Yeah.
Not here. Not here.
Gary Fatass,
Yeah.
Yep.
Lips McGee, or
You've been very well behaved there because you know.
yeah,
You could have gone
brother.
a
It's
different.
the brother.
You could have
yeah.
gone a different
yeah.
McGee,
Yeah.
couldn't you?
Yeah,
Which
his sisters.
You normally
love all
would have gone
this
for. I was going to
WWE
say not his
anyway.
brother. Unlike maybe she is
Yeah.
his brother. Hey, it's 2025. Do what you want.
Johnny Hotbody, Gary Fatass, Lips McGee, Big Knob Steve.
God damn it.
I can actually see him practicing the finger gun he pointed at you there as well. Big knob Steve.
It's also like this. Big Knob Steve.
More like big knob.
Yeah, it's better.
One of a kind.
I'm going to go for A, please.
You go for
Adam.
Johnny Hotbody.
Johnny
Are you sure, Phil?
Hotbody.
Because I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of
Final answer.
just to be so we can be crystal clear and sure. What were the options
The
again?
options again, just to remind you, Phil. Johnny Hotbody,
Right.
Gary Fatass.
Yeah. With a PH?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lips McGee, or do it with me, Big Knob Steve.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah.
Hey, look at that. The suspense. You were all in there wondering what was going to happen.
Oh, this one coming.
Oh, phew.
Which
One day
means,
he's gonna get us.
yeah, I might.
Yeah, he is. He's going to. Yeah. It'd be like a Christmas
Be like a
episode.
year from
who's,
now. Yeah.
I got you.
Finally, this is what I was doing all along.
Yeah, I could never do this.
Well, let us know how you got on in the comment section below. But congratulations.
I was going to say
to the
that.
co-winners
I'll
of
have,
this
me,
week's quiz,
I'll have me applause first. Thank you.
Adam Nicholas and Phil Chambers. Mr. Jeans is just written. Gary Fatass is now wrestling under Mark Davis. That's Mr. Jeans' words, not mine. But thank you to everyone who's joined us today. Thank you for all your lovely comments and your donations. As I said, let us know how you got on and your thoughts on everything we've discussed especially if you
Yeah.
live in a certain area of Belfast. In the comment section or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there. You can follow all three of us. You can follow Adam Nicholas at...
It's Adam Nicholas, and you can follow Phil My Chambers at Phil Chambers.
Phil My Chambers. You can follow Adam at
Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at
all doing
WhatCulture
so well.
WWE.
Change my name.
Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling. Wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. The SmackDown preview is available right now, and the Dadley Boy is going to be previewing Dynasty very soon as well. But for now, this has been WrestleCulture. My thanks to Adam Nicholas. To Phil Chambers, thank you for watching, and we see you soon. WrestleCulture is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah, wrestling. It's a bit. I was doing so well there. Just so well.
So well.
Phil My Chambers. But basically now, wouldn't it be a good plot twist though if his actual shoot middle name was My?
Would be quite good if I just randomly change it one day.
Yeah. They
It's
depolled
John,
it.
by the way. In case you were wondering.
I wasn't wondering, but thank you for
there
telling
you
me
go.
anyway.
It's out there now.
And now you know. So
Now
that
you know.
should make it much easier
Steal his
to
identity.
Google Phil's identity on the internet. Has he got an H in there, or is it just G-O-N? Who knows?
No.
He can't give you everything.
The
Find out stands
next
for
week.
John. Anything else to add before we...
No,
No?
I'm exhausted.
Buy some tickets.
Yeah.
Do a live show plug before...
WhatCulture.com/tickets. Some are still available. It's going to be a big old
2
live
weeks
show.
today.
It's going to be exciting. And check out Ups and Downs for Raw, because there's going to be a big announcement about all the things happening on WrestleMania weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. I love you.